Well, it was a good win for us. You know, we told the guys after the game that win will hopefully mean something later in the year from an RPI standpoint. Winthrop won 40 games a year ago, got a lot of guys back, and I think we're picked to finish pretty high in the Big South. So it was good. It was a good win. It was a good game to win. We performed well. We got off to a good start, obviously, in the first. Really proud of Kanan Cropper. Those aren't easy conditions to pitch in, and he and Tyler Haswell pitched outstanding. And I was happy to see Vince and Matt Vogel. They did well too. And then Tyler and Brandon were a little bit rusty, but they'll be fine. And just needed to get them out there and get some work done. Hard conditions to play, especially pitch, field. You know, we made a couple errors there, but all in all, certainly nice to see some of our guys perform at a high level, and it's good to get a win against a really good Winthrop team.
Nice to see a couple of your freshmen get it going, TJ and LT specifically, to kind of just get going in the offense going today.
Yeah, I mean LT and TJ, those kids work extremely hard. They're winners. They love to play. They play with some fire and energy and emotion, and even though they're freshmen, that's it's contagious, and that filters through our dugout and our locker room. That's one of the things that the newcomers bring outside of talent and ability. They bring a certain want to and emotion and hard work ethic, and if they think one of their teammates is slacking off, they're not afraid to tell them, and that's very rare for newcomers, not only freshmen, but Dom's got that in him as well as a junior college player. So thus far, we've only played 5 games, but obviously certainly like what I see from those guys.
Alex, you mentioned it last night that it was just a matter of time before he got going again. What did you see from him tonight, and what made you happy about his 4 RBI?
Well, Alex will be one of the best hitters in the country if he just swings at pitches he can handle, doesn't chase pitches out of the strike zone. He gets himself out when he's struggling. When he makes a pitcher throw it in there, and he has some patience and doesn't chase pitches out of the strike zone, and try to talk to him a lot about him commanding the strike zone and him, putting good swings on pitches that he can handle. And if he does that, he'll put up big numbers. He's so strong, and the ball just flies off his bat. So he did that today. Just calmed down a little bit. He was less anxious. He was more at peace in the batter's box. And it's only a matter of time before he busts out. It was good to see him get a good game today, but he'll do more than just have one good game. He's a good player and a good hitter.
What made you want to start Kanan today, and what do you see him as a starter or reliever? How do you just kind of see him?
Well, I mean, Kanan was terrific. He surpassed my expectations. I wanted him to throw. I just wanted him to get us off to a good start. Even if it was 3, 6 outs, 7 outs, 8, I just wanted him to get off. I just wanted to get off to a good start. The way that wind was blowing and playing a quality team like Winthrop in his first start of the year, I was nervous before the game. But he was terrific. It was good to see him pitch that well. I think he can pitch for us in the middle of the week in a role like he just did, or he can get some big outs for us on the weekend out of the bullpen. He's tough on righties because he's a little funky. Those across his body a little bit from a awkward arm slot. And when he's getting his changeup over, he's very tough on lefties. So we can use him out of the bullpen in some important games on the weekend as well.
Coach, you think you had 2 errors in the game and then kind of bobbled some balls in the field there. Is that worrisome for you, or is that just part of the game?
We can play defense. I think we can play defense with anybody. It was hard conditions out there. I'm not using that as an excuse. Jared Williams made one, bless his heart, but I was so excited for him when he got that hit. No one works harder than that kid. And I've coached for 20 years, and I don't know. And if I coach for 20 more, I'll never coach a kid as good a kid as Jared Williams. And So I was happy to see him get his first hit as a Gamecock. And, but he made an error out there in the wind. That ball crept up on him a little bit because he hadn't been out there for eight or so innings. And our other error was Destino. He's inexperienced at first base. He's a work in progress a little bit defensively over there, but he continues to get better. He was just late getting to the bag and his feet got all tangled up. So not worried about our errors at all. Our guys can play defense with Marcus and LT and DC and Jonah, and we have some gifted defensive players.
Very small sample size, 2 games apiece, but LT's got I think 2 3-hit games playing in the field and 2 0 for games when he's DHing. Is he just better when he's playing in the field, or just kind of coincidental?
It's a good point. Obviously, and I like him in the lineup. I love his at bats. I think it's probably too small of a sample size, to make that, that he won't hit out of the DH spot. If he's going to use that as an excuse, I'll make him flush that one in a hurry, because I was a little pissant and I had some fire and energy like LT had, and I had to DH from time to time. So just get in there and compete, and that's what LT does. So he'll be fine. He'll get some hits out of the DH spot. I got to use him all over the place this year. That's just who he's going to be. He's a really good baseball player, and I love him in there. He does everything that you ask him to do. He's going to get that runner home from third with less than 2 outs. He's going to use the whole field. He's going to execute hit and runs. He's going to do everything that you ask him to do. He's a good player, and I gotta have him in there. And he's just going to have to be versatile this year, because I'm going to put him all over the place. He'll probably play some first base too. That's probably coming.
Where are you as far as kind of the leadoff guy? And are you just kind of searching for someone?
Well, you only lead off once. I tell our guys, I might put Destino in there. You only lead off one time, and I don't know if we have a prototypical leadoff guy that's ready to do everything, quote, a leadoff hitter, you would want him to do. TJ has all the tools to do it, but, he swings so big sometimes he'll strike out a time or two. Mooney's got the best plate approach. He'll walk more than he strikes out. But I like hitting him down in the order too. Scalamaro is much improved. He's getting his fair share of hits, so maybe he's figuring it out. He's got to learn how to get his bunts down. Tell our guys all the time, there's nothing worse than fast guys that can't bunt, and there's no excuse in that. And that's like point guards that can't shoot free throws. That's the same thing. You gotta fast guys got to be able to bunt, and he can. He puts a little pressure on himself in the bunt game. But we got some guys that have the characteristics to be good leadoff hitters. But right now, I don't. I'm just going to keep it a revolving door. So just keep the merry-go-round going, I guess. It's all right.
Let me ask a general question about this weekend as opposed to a specific question about Penn State. The rise of the Big Ten in baseball seems like in the last few years, you've seen Indiana rise up, be a top 10 team. They've hosted regionals. I think Illinois hosted a regional last year, Purdue, Ohio State. I mean, nationally, do you see the Big Ten making a bigger commitment towards baseball? Has a populated baseball risen in that part of the country?
I think they've put in a lot of resources, and they want to be good. I think the commissioner there had a couple comments in the past several years about, we're pretty good in baseball too, and I think they felt like they were in position to host a few regionals in the past, and they went to warmer weather programs, and he was unhappy about that. And I think that he stuck his neck out for his teams in that league, and they've responded. Indiana coaches have done a great job. Obviously, Illinois had a big year last year. Penn State's going to give us a heck of a challenge this weekend. I just think a lot of those schools and athletic departments are putting resources toward their baseball program, and they're working harder out on the road and recruiting, and they got great facilities. Ohio State's got a really, really nice baseball stadium, and as well as other folks. So, yeah, it's going to be two two teams from power leagues going at it this weekend. It'll be neat. It'll be neat to see, and it's one of the main reasons we scheduled them. We thought it would be a very competitive and good weekend. And you're playing a national name. Penn State's a national brand, and for them to come in here and play us 3 games, I think it says a lot about them, and we're certainly looking forward to the series.
So what do you know about Penn State? What's kind of the
I hadn't looked at them. I mean, I'll start it tonight and tomorrow, and I just know that Clark's going to throw Friday, and we'll be ready to play. We'll have a good workout tomorrow, and but yeah, generally I haven't studied them. I hadn't even looked at any of their boxes yet, just because I was my mind and my brain was wrapped around Winthrop for the last several since last night's game, and not getting too far ahead of myself. One game at a time.